Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it'd be fun to do a mini bookshelf reorganization, plus also doing a Q&A while I do it. I saw Katie is Reading do a video like this recently and I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I've done a lot of bookshelf reorganizations on my channel before, but I've never combined one with like a Q&A or anything, so I thought that could be kind of a fun way to change things up a little bit. But as you can see, I've got an empty bookcase right here, besides my new Wizard of Oz Blu-ray set that I put here because I have a vent right there, so I can't really cover it, so I just put that there. Besides that, I have an empty bookcase right here that I am ready to fill up. I have a bunch of books that I hauled recently. It was my last video. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it up above in the cards for you, but I have no space for them already. I have like a bunch of paperbacks stacked up in places and I don't like it like this, so it's kind of my plan to make this entire shelf pretty much paperbacks. So yeah, I'm very excited. I do have like a rough plan for what I want to do today with the shelves, so I'm very excited. I think I'm going to start with the very top of the bookcase. I want to shuffle around my tall hardcovers that are up there, switch around my Shadowhunter shelves. So I think I'm going to start off with those shelves first, and then once I'm done that, I think I'll collect all the paperbacks that I want to move and I'll organize them, and while I do that I will answer some questions that you guys gave to me over on Instagram. Just finished putting together the two Shadowhunter shelves. They look exactly how they did, but before they were on those shelves and now they're on these ones. It always bothered me that these books were on that little shelf right there, because whenever I sit on my bed I can't really see that entire bookcase, and I really wanted to be able to see all of these books. So the way that I've organized it is this is kind of all of like the Infernal Devices kind of like timeline. So we have like my special edition of Clockwork Angel, the actual series of the Infernal Devices goes to the Shadow Market, and then the Last Hour series, and then I just kind of threw in the Shadowhunter Codex there because it fit. And then this shelf is kind of like the current timeline of the books with the Mortal Instruments and everything. So I kind of just separated it by the two different like timelines. So now I'm just really happy that I can see all of the Shadowhunter books at like first glance. It makes me very excited. Okay, so there's way more room on this shelf than I was anticipating, so I think I'm gonna try shuffling things around so that I can display two books on this shelf maybe, because like I do have room to display another book, but I don't really want to display any more of these ones. So I have the Diviners displayed over here, so I might move that to be on this shelf instead and then display something else on this shelf. Now that those top shelves are done, I'm going to start organizing all the different paperbacks, grabbing them all off so I can decide what I want to put here on this shelf and what I want to keep on these paperback shelves. And while I do that, I'm going to answer my first question. So the first question is reading goals for 2023. So I don't tend to think really far in advance for my reading goals. I kind of just think about them in December, right before the new year. But my goals typically don't change too much between each year. Usually my goals consist of like how many books I want to read in a year, which for the last 4 years, I think, has been 100 books, and I've been able to maintain that, which has been really, really lovely. So that's definitely a goal for next year. Oh no, what am I? But like beyond that, my other goals typically consist of like reading 5 new releases for that year. So that would be 5 2023 releases. And I typically also, oh god, I also typically try to do like 5 new releases from the previous year, so 5 2022 releases, just because I always have a lot of anticipated releases that I just don't end up getting around to. Okay, I've got stacks over there as well that I want to dismantle. But beyond that, I don't think I really have many reading goals. Always in my bullet journal I have like a bingo board that I create of like challenges, I guess, of things I want to be able to read throughout the year. So I'll do like read a 500+ page book, or read a book that's been on my TBR for 2+ years, just to kind of remind me of things that I want to be able to read. I'm pulling all of these books off, but I don't really know how I'm gonna organize it. I think I'm gonna start off by doing this shelf because I really want this to be an adult romance shelf only. So I'm gonna start off by pulling off all of the YA books that are on this shelf while I answer another question. So Alex also asked author that inspires me to write. So there are a lot of authors that inspire me to write. I don't know if he means like in the sense of like their style and like their personal books and how those inspire my writing, or just like authors in general who inspire me. Because if it's just in general, then definitely like V.E. Schwab. I adore V.E. Schwab so much, and adore just kind of like the whole mentality she has towards writing, and I just love whenever she posts like long spiels on Instagram about how she's feeling, and I just love how candid she is about how hard writing can be. Are those all the YA books? See, there's a story left of AJ Fickery, and this is an adult book, but I wouldn't really classify it as a romance. So I think I'm gonna move this to a different shelf, but I think that's it for romances. So I'm gonna grab all the other romances that I took off of this shelf over here and put them over here and try to see if I can organize it in a good way. Just now looking at it, I actually don't know if they're all gonna fit, so this shall be interesting. Okay, I was kind of thinking it'd be kind of fun to stack up all of my like shorter romance books and put them somewhere maybe like in the middle of the shelf, perhaps, just because I really don't like the height difference. It kind of bothers me. I mean, I say that as if I don't have Me Before You and the X-Hex, which are both 2 different sizes compared to the rest of them here, and that also does really bother me. But anyways, so I have books like Attachments by Rainbow Rowell that I don't necessarily care too much about anymore, and Honey Girl, which I did enjoy but I don't reach for very often, so I think these are going to remain at like the bottom of the stack. I'm going to move my Smurfs in honor of the hating game. I'm going to bring the romance recipe and also keep that at the bottom of the stack because I didn't love it that much. Okay, other authors that inspire me. Francesca Zappia, the author of Eliza and Her Monsters, Tashi Bouillon, Raquel Marie. So many authors inspire me. All my friends inspire me. My goodness, my friends inspire me. Okay, how do I want to do this? Well, if I want to do it like in the middle of the shelf, I'll just start by moving things around and then we can play around with it. Oh god. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to put these shorter books in a stack, and then I'll come back and answer another question. So I definitely have way more adult romances now than I used to because I bought a whole bunch with my birthday money. So I still have this whole big stack of romance books that are just simply not gonna fit on the shelf. So now I don't know what to do with these ones. Some of them are arcs, and I was toying with the idea of making one of the shelves on the empty bookcase just an arc shelf and put some of my arcs there. Not all of them, but just some of them. So I guess I could take out these 3 and put these on their own little shelf, but that still leaves me with 3 books that just don't have space on this shelf. Maybe I can move ones that I don't love as much, perhaps and put them on the other shelf, or maybe some that I haven't read. I think this one would look really nice, Delilah Green Doesn't Care, next to One Last Stop. So maybe I'll move Would Like to Meet because I liked this book, but I'm not obsessed with this one. Maybe I'll move that somewhere else, even though it did look really nice there. I feel like I really do want to keep all of these ones here. But you know what? Maybe I'll move these three, the Jasmine Guillory books that I have, because I feel like when they're shoved in the corner here, I don't see them very often. So I feel like I forget about them. So maybe if they're over there and more in my sight line, maybe that will inspire me to get to them sooner. So these should all fit now. Maybe I'll have room to bring Would Like to Meet back. See, that looks so cute right there. That looks so cute. You can add another purple book. Maybe I'll just have like a whole little purple section. Oh my god, okay, I do have room to bring Would Like to Meet back. I just really like the matte kind of like neon colors right there. This suddenly got moved very far into the side here, and actually I don't like that. Maybe I'll split it right here. Oh, decisions. They're so hard. Let me answer another question while I do this. Okay, so thoughts on self-publishing. I have absolutely nothing against self-publishing. I think it is a wonderful... I think it's wonderful. My goodness, I'm struggling. I think it's wonderful if that is the route that you want to take. I think for me personally, it's not what I want to do. I really want to do traditional publishing. That's just kind of always what I wanted to do. And I feel like I just wouldn't want all of the control and all of the pressure to be on me, I guess. I think I just really like the idea of having like a full team of people behind me, helping me out, helping me navigate publishing and to get my books out there, rather than me trying to do everything on my own. It just sounds very stressful. But if it works for you, then I love that. Okay, I think I like the way this looks for now. So I don't think I would ever consider self-publishing, but I do want to read more self-published books. I think I've only read one, perhaps, and it was A Convenient Christmas by Jodie Holford. A Convenient Christmas, and this one was good. I also have the companion book to this one. I also have Souls by Kahila Harry that I don't feel like pulling out because this shelf's a mess, but I really want to get into Katie Wismer's books, particularly the like gothic vampire series she has. I'm blanking on the title. The Marionettes. I do really want to get into that one, but I'm kind of waiting for it to all be published so I can just kind of, you know, binge read it if I do so desire. But I love self-publishing. I just don't think it's for me. I think I'm now gonna move on and do the actual other bookcase because there is one shelf in particular that I know exactly what I want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and answer some more questions. Somebody asked, what's something about AMS you're excited to write, hope to read it, and see it on shelves one day? Thank you. That means literally the world. If you guys don't follow my writing videos, then you might not know what AMS is. It is the next work in progress I'm hoping to work on. I haven't told you guys what the official title is, so I've just been calling it by its acronym, which is AMS. So this book is one that I'm extremely excited to work on, obviously. By the way, I'm just putting together all of my arcs and stuff. There are so many things about it that I'm excited to write, but I'm also extremely nervous. So for like everything that I'm excited to work on, there's also like a whole layer of nervous energy there too, because it's a project that I've been wanting to work on for such a long time that I'm really scared I'm not going to do it right, and I know that I'm not going to do it right. The first draft is going to be probably absolutely nothing like what I want it to look like, and I'm trying to be okay with that because it is something that I've been wanting to work on for so long, and I keep putting it off and working on different things because I just never feel ready to write it, and I'm trying to get rid of that mentality and just trying to work on it. But I'm excited to explore like lost friendships and almost love, because that's kind of like the crux of a lot of this book, and it's something that has weighed heavily on my heart because it's something that I definitely went through in high school, and so it's something that I've been wanting to explore in a book for a very long time. And then also just kind of like the feeling of when you're in high school, like the feeling of not being able to escape or get away or move on because you're forced to be around the same people all the time. So like if you have a falling out with a friend, or if you go through a breakup, like you have to see that person all the time, so it's just like you're never able to fully escape them. Whereas like when you're kind of more like in the real world, unless of course you experience this in the workplace, when you break up or have a falling out with somebody, you can just like unfollow them on social media and like cleanse yourself of them, and then you don't have to see them again. So I think it's a very specific kind of pain when you're in high school and you go through something like this that's so heartbreaking, and then you just kind of have to pretend like you're okay and you have to see them all the time. So that's something that I really want to explore with this book as well, and I'm excited to do that. I'm also excited to play around with the dual timeline aspect of the book, because that's not something that I've done before. I was trying to see if I had enough books to make like another adult romance shelf on this side, but I don't think I do. So what I might do is I might try to like do like a shelf of just like the short paperbacks, and then do taller ones on another one. I've got 3 shelves to play around with here, so I can do one for arcs, maybe one for regular sizes, plus I can put more books down here. Plus over there's also an empty spot right there that I could play around with. So I think I just need to organize on what I want to go on this shelf and what I want on that one. So kind of like what I want to be forced to look at all the time, what I want potentially to be in frame when I'm filming for both of these ones. Lots of things to think about when you're reorganizing bookshelves. Okay, so I'm gonna try to figure this out real quick, and then I will come back and answer more questions. I think I'm just like, I don't want to talk while I'm doing this because I feel like it's just gonna take me forever. Okay, so I think I'm going to put the arcs on this shelf. So I'm going to answer another question while I do this. So somebody asked, favorite Stephen King book if you have read any of his work. The only thing that I've kind of read from Stephen King was It. By the way, I think I'm going to put these in publication order. I only got about halfway through It. I started watching it back in 2017 after I watched the first movie, and I loved the movie, which is why I wanted to read It, and I was like, this is the perfect book to start off with because I loved the movie. Yeah, I got about halfway through, and that's all that I could force myself to read. I could not make myself read any more of it. His writing style is just not my thing, so I have not read any more of his books, so I do not have a favorite. Lindsay Puckett, which is wild. Lindsay Puckett asked me a question. Crazy. She asked, what's your third favorite dinosaur? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge dinosaur person, but if I had to pick a third favorite, for some reason my first like gut instinct to this question was a Stegosaurus. Do I have an actual reasoning behind that? Absolutely not. Oh, this is a really short book. I don't like that. That's an issue. That's gonna be moved somewhere else. This one's also really short. Are they the same kind of short or different kinds of short? Different kinds of short, but they're close enough. So those are gonna go somewhere else. Okay, so yeah, the arc shelf is not full. Maybe I should stack the ones I've already read from these, which is Capicon Lychee, Lulu, and Counting Down with You. Ooh, is this gonna fit? Oh no. This is ugly anyway. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do an arc shelf then. Now I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. I hate when things don't go my way. Well, maybe I'll just start putting other books on this shelf. Lindsay also asked, toilet paper roll over or under? Over. Of course, over. There have definitely been times where one of my family members are just like not paying attention and they will put it under, and then I will go through the effort to change it because I refuse to use a toilet paper roll if it is rolled under. It's not convenient. It's not fun. I know like some people's argument for it, I can't believe we're getting like into a real discussion about this topic, but I think some people argue that like if they have cats, having it under makes it harder for them to like play with it. My cats don't play with the toilet paper, so I don't have that issue, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, 100% the correct answer here is over. Alyssa asked, what's your ideal perfect day? I tried to think a lot about this question actually, because I felt like it deserved a good answer, and I genuinely do not know. Like, I thought about making videos before, like experimenting with like my ideal like routine, like my ideal writing routine, or just my like ideal like work day routine, but I can never come up with a routine that I like and that I think that I could actually stick to. All I know is that like my ideal writing day like would just mean me being able to include all the things that I want to do in any given day. So being able to do YouTube things, but also being able to write and to read and to be able to chill out and do nothing, because sometimes I wake up really late and then I just don't have a lot of hours in my day to do things. So it's either like I film and edit videos and I don't do anything else, or I write and then I don't do YouTube stuff. So it's just like, I don't know, having like a good balance in my day I guess would be like ideal. Alyssa also asked, how long do I think I'd survive in a zombie apocalypse? Literally 2 seconds, if that. I really don't think I would do well in a zombie apocalypse situation. I just don't think I have it in me to survive. I definitely would not be like that protagonist in, you know, dystopian novels that will like go ahead and fight and, you know, like save the world, because I am too anxious for that. I would simply go and hide and wait for somebody else to deal with it or die. You know, I would not be the one to save the day. Favorite book nowadays and favorite genre. My favorite book is and will forever be Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I feel like that comes as no surprise to anybody. What am I putting on this shelf? That's a good question. So I guess I should stand up so that you guys can see this. This is a super weird angle, but you can fully see Niall now, so that's fun. I'm like weirdly like leaning with my knees on a chair so that you can like fully see my face, which means that I now have to like really awkwardly lean down to get the books on my floor. Can you still see me? You can indeed. And my favorite genre also is YA contemporary. I feel like it's been that way for so long. You know what? This is not gonna work out. This is not gonna be a good situation. What am I gonna do? Give me a minute. I'm gonna think about this and then I will come back. Okay, so what I decided to do was I moved the Heartstopper Alice Oseman shelf one shelf down. I'm gonna make this like a temporary little like spooky Halloween-y shelf, because I'm gonna be decorating my room for fall and Halloween in a couple of days, and so I'll be able to put like a nice big thing here. I've got a little jack-o'-lantern that could look very cute right here, because I realized that I have more space than I thought that I did, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do like a little display kind of moment right there, and this just felt very appropriate, because by the time like fall and Halloween is over, I could even make this like a little Christmas decorated shelf, and then, you know, by that point I'll have more books that I can fill it up with. So I think I'm actually really happy with this, and I kind of like Heartstopper being on one of the bigger shelves, so I'm happy with this for now. It won't be complete until I start decorating for Halloween, but this is a cute little moment. Okay, so I had to charge my camera, so while I did that I finished up the shelves. So I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then afterwards I will show you all of the finished shelves that I reorganized today. I'm actually really happy with it, so I'm excited to kind of show you guys all the final products, but I do still have a couple more questions that I wanted to get through. A book series you want to try but you're too intimidated to start right now. So when I saw this question, the first thing that popped into my mind was the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. This is such a beloved series on booktube that I'm nervous to get into it for that reason, because what if I don't like it? But also I'm just not a big YA fantasy person anymore. It's just not a genre that I really reach for, which is such a shame because it used to be one of my favorites. So like I really hate that my reading tastes have changed in this way to where like I don't read that much fantasy in general, not just YA fantasy. I do really want to love this book though, especially because it's so gorgeous, like with the black sprayed edges and everything, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't extremely nervous to get into it and like extremely intimidated by it. But watch out for my fall TBR coming later this month, because this might be on it, even though it was also on my TBR last fall. but this is also like in general on my 2022 TBR, so I'm really hoping that I can get to it. I can never finish a first draft. What do I do? Whenever somebody asks me this, I never quite know how to answer it, because you just kind of have to do it. You just gotta kind of like force yourself to sit down and write, and to be okay with the fact that it's going to be bad. There are so many quotes that talk about first draft, like you're just dumping sand into a sandbox, and then revisions is where you craft it into a sandcastle kind of thing. So I think you just really have to adopt that kind of mentality in order to finish a first draft, but you just have to do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys all of the finished reorganized shelves that I did today. Not like a full bookshelf overview, but just the ones that I actually reorganized, and then I will end out the video. So starting with the top shelves, we have the Shadowhunter shelves, and then we have the rest of my tall hardcovers that span the 2 shelves there. And then as for the rest of like this new empty bookcase that I was filling today, we have the kind of like Halloween-y spooky shelf, the Heartstopper Alice Oseman shelf. Then we have this shelf of just like standard paperbacks. It's mainly YA contemporary, but we have like a fantasy book right there. We have an adult kind of like literary book. Is that what that is? I don't know. And then we have some romance books right there, but it's so cute. And I put little Boo right there. Ugh, I love the vibes of it. And then we have this like shorter paperback shelf, and I put my Christopher Robin Funkos there. I think this one's also really, really cute. And then I ended up having a lot more space than I thought I would, so I ended up displaying a book here. I don't love this book anymore, I don't think, but I like the cover and it gives me fall vibes. And then I just stacked some of my ARCs right there with some Funko Pops around it. Then we have this bottom shelf, which I'm pretty sure it's looked like this before, or like close to this before, but it's nothing special. And then we have my adult romance shelf, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below which shelf is your favorite that I reorganized today, because I would be really curious to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time.